My name is Mattias Andersson. I'm the head of CRM Analytics at Scandinavian Airlines. And as you may have read in Harvard Business Review, so I'm heading a bunch of data scientists, lots of data scientists. And as you might have read in the Harvard Business Review, they stated data scientists, they are the sexiest job of the century. The sexiest job of the century. So back in Sweden, Stockholm, and Scandinavian Airlines, some people call me the head of CRM Analytics, and some people call me head of the sexy team. And actually, I did a huge mistake. One colleague asked me, how sexy is your team? And then I did a mistake and showing my six-pack. And now the mic fell off. So I assume now approximately 82% think I'm head of the sexy team and not CRM Analytics. Does it work? Oh, excellent, excellent. But we're not here to talk about my six-pack or sexy team. We're going to talk about this, the agenda. And here is my notes. And actually, another embarrassing thing, I think it was last time I did a talk in the UK, and I couldn't find my notes. I was running around. I was supposed to be up on stage. I was running around asking for, have you seen my notes? Going to the organizer, have you seen my notes? Have you seen my notes? I can't find them. But I did a mistake because in a direct translation from Swedish to English, this will be cheating paper, like cheat and paper. So I asked the organizer, have you seen my cheating paper? And obviously, there's not such a word as cheating paper in English, so they thought I said shitting paper. That is toilet paper. So they were really puzzled. Why is this guy from Sweden running around looking for his own toilet paper? But it was my cheating paper I was looking for. But now I got my notes here and all the cheating papers. So I will talk briefly about Scandinavian Airlines. I will talk about our customer and personalization project. That is so cool. And questions and hopefully some answers as well, if we have the time and if I have the competence to answer the questions. Not always the case. And we started off this morning with quizzes. All the speakers in the morning said, a quiz. I will have a quiz as well, because someone else in my team did a presentation, but I did 2 slides by myself. And I'm not good at PowerPoint. I'm more like the Excel guy. So please raise your hand when you think, this is the slide done by me. And then we have no prize, but the honor is so raise your hand when you think, this is a shitty slide. It must have been Mattias who made it. And some interesting, or maybe not interesting, but about SaaS. I think it's interesting to see we're almost 100 years old. So we have lots of legacy systems. And we're also owned by the state of Sweden, the state of Norway, the state of Denmark, and the Wallenberg family from Sweden. So that's interesting. It's also interesting that we have 5 million Eurobonus members. That might not be that interesting, but we have another 10 million customers on a yearly basis. And we want to have them 10 million to have a tailored experience as well, not only our 5 million Eurobonus members. So let's go further into more interesting cheating papers. Okay, here's lots of buzzwords and empty phrases, I realize. You can see them at all conferences. 4 pillars for superior customer experience through personalization, and then you have a lot. But I will give you some concrete examples, so don't fall asleep. And I might also do some lies as well in the end. And you can raise your hand if you think I'm lying. Okay, yeah, there we have the stuff. I told lots of buzzwords. But we will do some interesting stuff. Maybe, I don't know what that is, a thumb or a microchip, no idea, but it's a cool thing. Okay, so let's take an example. someone is entering our web page. We know nothing about this customer, but we get her or his IP address, device ID, and cookies. And already there, our algorithms start to work. So for example, if a customer or potential customer clicks here, 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 and here, then our algorithms are saying, this is a person interested in going for a weekend trip to bigger cities like in New York and London and stuff like that, without knowing nothing. And also, our models will say, by the way, he or she is interested in going a weekend trip to a larger city, and by the way, she is price sensitive. Okay? That will affect how we will treat the customer later on. Another person, again, we don't know nothing about the customer, but he clicks in a totally different manner. Our algorithms will say he's interested or she interested in golf, and by the way, he or she is not price sensitive at all. And then we communicate, of course, in a different manner. In the case 1, we talk about our low price fares. In the case 2, we talk about business class, etc. But I think I need to speed on. So, okay, this is what I was saying. Totally different behavior. But sooner or later, the customer identify himself or herself, and then we can connect all the excellent transactional data, all the CRM data, and then we can be really, really personalized. So how can we be personalized? You might think sitting by a table asking yourself, how personalized can you be? Really personalized. So for example, me and my team, we are building different models, so we can actually predict what destination you're likely to travel to. We have done some tests. So actually, we have found that we can find where the customers are likely to go. We did some A/B testing. We also do, let's see, not that interesting maybe. This is interesting. And of course, we do the purpose of travel. So we know the person on the web page, is he doing a business trip or a leisure trip? Because that will affect how we will treat the customer later on. We also do price sensitivity analysis, so we know price sensitive or not price sensitive. And we build one model for leisure trips, because you could have totally different behavior if it's a leisure trip or it's a trip where your client or employer pay. I'm like that. When I'm traveling with my family, I'm really cheap, but traveling with SAS, it's always business class. And as you all know, we have the best business class of all companies, of course. This is interesting as well. We are doing something what we calculate the kind of booker type. For example, we have a lot of customers, traveling from Stockholm to London once or twice a week. They know exactly what they want. So they want a really quick and smooth booking process. Because other customers who are not like those ones straight through bookers, there we try to sell, extra bag, upgrade, sell that, sell that, sell that, sell that. But for those ones, they're straight through bookers. We want a really quick and convenient process. That's the straight through bookers. This is an excellent line. And actually, I did this line by myself. The other stuff my partners did, but this line I did myself. Because so I remember what to talk about. Okay, I'm going to talk about here. On this side, we have the digital analysts, the digital marketeers. They are here in the organization. They're working with their tools. They're working with their data. On this side, we have the CRM analyst, customer analyst, offline marketing people. We are here in the organization working with those systems and with that data. And for example, on this side, they know everything about which picture converts the best. Picture A versus picture B. They know what message A or B is the best, but they don't know nothing about the flesh and blood of the customer. On this side, me and my team, we know everything about the customer. It's a 32-year-old female from London, silver, blah, 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 blah. But we don't know what gets her going? What kind of picture or messages gets her going? So what we're doing right now, we take this data and those systems, this data and those systems into the same database. And now we're working with the same systems as well. And we have started to work with cross-functional teams. So now we have all the knowledge from here, all the knowledge from there. So that's, of course, really good. Yep. Sheeting paper. Yeah. Do I see any hands? No. This is one of the slides I did. Our advertising agency would have killed me. This is so awful. And actually, I stole a picture as well from Google, and that's not allowed according to SAS policies. My mistake, but my manager, she's not here, so I don't care. Okay, when you're going for an omni-channel experience, an omni-channel communication, then you must have your attribution in place. And when I started at SAS, I've only been there for a small, short 1 year. I never heard about attribution. Never heard of attribution. So I will give you an example of what is attribution modeling. Okay, attribution modeling is we send an email to the customers. The customer click on that link, get directed into our web page, but doesn't buy anything. 2 days later, that person might go into hotels.com, click on a SaaS banner, get directed to the SaaS web page, but doesn't buy. Later that day, goes direct into www.sas.se, but doesn't buy. But 3 days later, she will go into, who wants free advertising? Name a company. Okay, we take Amazon. Go into Amazon, click on a SaaS banner, get directed to our web page, and actually buy the trip to London. So attribution is, in this case, what action in this journey will get the actual credit? Because we're used to be on a really basic level. So if we have the last click, then we will say all the credits and all the efforts will go to, what did I say was the last action? Amazon, yeah, Amazon. But we know that's not the case because it's so many things happening on the way. And the first click, that's obviously the email send out. So now we have like a data-driven model. And that's really cool because then we know what banners really contribute to the sales. So we know where to do our marketing and stuff. Yep. And since I have limited time due to myself, speaking too much, we have this omni-channel. We have, here we have some low-cost channels, the email, our own web page, and the app. It's really cheap, or not cheap. It costs a hell of a lot of money to maintain, but anyhow. Because here we have the really high-cost channels. We have programmatic, we have retargeting, paid searches, external media, and social media. So cheaper, more expensive. So here I want to highlight what I've written there, frequency cap. Yesterday, or not literally yesterday, a couple of weeks ago, of course, this side of the digital marketing operations, they know exactly that, like this class of customers, they need 5 impressions in order to convert. And then the marginal effect drops off significantly. So they knew 5 retargeting impressions will work for those kind of customers. And then they bought 5 of them. But now, since we have the data from CRM data and this data in the same database, we know that the person actually clicked on our email. So 1 impression, clicked the day after, 2 impressions, and went directly into our web page, 3 impressions. Then this side only had to buy 2 retargeting banners. So we save hundreds of millions or billions of dollars, even though we don't have that much revenue. But we save a lot of money anyhow. We save a lot of money and a better customer experience. You know yourself, if you have clicked look for a shoe or a bag or something, that banner will follow you everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. We don't do that anymore. And since we have the data here, from here, we know, now you bought a trip to London, and then we stop chasing you all over the social media. So it's better customer experience, and as I said, we save billions of dollars, or at least some money. Okay. I'm still need my cheating paper. Yes. Okay. This is okay. Now I said okay 4 times. That's 3 times too much, I think. This is our end goal of our omni-channel communication. Here we have Louise. She's a not member of Sazir Bonus, and she's not traveling with us. So we want her to start traveling, leisure travels with us. On the other side, here, behind the nice table, we have Maya. She's a gold member, and she travels a lot for business purposes with us, but she never traveled leisure trips with us. So we want her to start doing leisure trips with us. So what can happen? How will we... everything happen at what time? So for example here, we know that Louise, she clicked on a banner where we market Malta. So we know she clicked on a banner for Malta, and we also know she's really price sensitive. Hence, we give her a 20% discount on her next trip to Malta. Here on this side, our aim is to get you, Maya, to start doing leisure trips with us. Hence, we offer her a free upgrade on the next trip. And we also know the next trip she will do is to Berlin. And we know she's really interested in cocktail bars. So we talk about cocktail bars. So you can imagine, this puts an enormous pressure on the IT systems, enormous pressure on the content, enormous pressure on the people, etc. But you can also imagine the difference in customer experience compared to have one message to all customers. And you can also imagine the difference in conversion. This is a totally other league when it comes to conversion compared to getting almost the same message to all customers. Okay, content, that's cool. If you want to take some photos, you can take some photos. Otherwise, I would send the presentation for you. Yeah, beware of the content monster. In this kind of projects, you invest heavily in terms of resources and money and time in IT, discussing IT solutions. IT, what system, blah, 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 blah. You spend much time and money there. As you have understood, we analysts, we have so much big data now. We have so much data. We can predict everything, I think. And it's so easy for all of us to get really carried away because we know we can be really, really micro-segmented and totally personalized in our dialogue with our customers. But then you have to beware of the content monster. And I will exemplify this. Yep. We can take Malaga as an example. Malaga is a perfect destination for golfing, a perfect destination for food and culture. And any hands? No, I made this myself. And as you can see, not as nice. But I did this blue frame, which I think is quite cool. So not bad at all, actually. And I think it might be SAS blue, but I don't know. Okay, get back to Malaga. You can go to Malaga for partying. You can go to Malaga for conferencing. And you can go to Marbella. It's only 20 minutes away by train. And then you, in the winter time, you can go to Malaga for skiing. It's only 2 hours away. So here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the skiing example, 6 perfect microsegments or reasons for going to Malaga. Imagine we are traveling to hundreds of destinations. We have hundreds of products. You can imagine what a pressure on our content department. Just selling Malaga, you have 10 pictures, you have 10 different texts, and it will be millions of pictures and texts that we have to create in order to be really, really personalized in phase 1. So I think Thomas Cook mentioned, we take small steps and getting more and more personalized. But you really have to think about how to handle the content. It's so easy to get carried away by those expensive management consultancy firms. I won't mention McKinsey and the stuff like that, but they're really expensive, and they talk about, oh, you can do all this, and you start doing all this, and then you don't have any content. And then you can, they should have like 24 hours satisfaction guarantee. Because they don't think about the content monster. Okay, more content. I'm really into content, obviously. I don't know why, because I'm an analyst. I should talk about figures, as you said when you presented me. It should be figures, but not, obviously not. This is more about, yeah, the issue with the content. Yesterday, or way back, we had the issue of, we're really siloed within marketing, really siloed. We have one department for outdoors marketing, one for digital marketing, one for TV, one for direct mailings, blah, blah, blah. And we have different agencies, and hence we have pictures or content in different databases. It's a total mess. So now we have, I have to read, Adobe Experience Manager. That help us. So now we have all content in one platform. And I click. I didn't do this slide, as you can see, because it's a nice one. And out comes it perfectly nice and da-da-da. And actually, my colleagues also told me that's fantastic with this is before they have to create one banner, if the banner should be like selling Paris, for example, one banner should be like this. For another newspaper, it should be that, and that, and that, and that, and that. So our content department did like 20 different formats. But now, I don't know how it works, but now they're doing it once, and then it will align and apply, or what the name is in English. And this is how it could be like. We take an example. If they do a search for USA or enters directly into our web page, then we will look in the CRM database. Have this person bought USA or not? Have not bought, okay. If we have the email address, we send an email, since that's a more cheap channel compared to external banners. So if we have email address, email. But if we don't have email address or we have opt-out, external banner. And then we have a plan for every step until they buy from us. Actually, I will make it on time and so I can go back and talk more about other stuff maybe. Because I rushed suddenly. I don't know why I did that. I've plenty of time, unless you, maybe you want to go to the wine, blah, blah, blah. More buzzwords, but here's something interesting. Early on, I was talking about cross-functional teams. And in order to succeed with cross-functional teams, if you go to conferences, they always say, you need buy-in from top management. You need KPIs only for the team, not in the lines. You need KPIs for the team, okay, cross-functional team, so they know what to do. You need buy-in from top management, okay. I've been working for larger companies in Sweden where we had buy-in from top management, we had our own KPIs, and we had our own rooms, our own computers, and fruit baskets as well. And it worked perfectly week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Week 8, the line manager will come. Mattias, you have to work in the line now. And then, Maria, you have to work in the line. And 6 weeks later, no one was in the team anymore. So I have another advice, except for you need buy-in for top management, you need KPIs. And as I spoke on earlier on, maybe you need the same IT systems. Maybe you need the same data in the same place, because then you really need to or want to cooperate. But I have another really simple advice that has made this going at SAS, actually, and that's this. These are our headquarters in Stockholm, and I think it's quite unfair. Some people, like me, I'm sitting here. I have a really nice view of this lake, and some people sitting, I can't even jump that high, have a view to the motorway. But that's not the point, saying that and I also told you that I will lie now, because I'm sitting here, and some people in the cross-functional team are sitting, far away. And now they lie, because normally I say I run 10K in 36 minutes, but I don't do that. I used to do that, but not anymore, and I can't live on old merits. But I used to run 10K in 36 minutes, but maybe that's not. You can see my body mass index is too tiny, and I got really long legs. However, what's the point of me running really quick? Yeah, the point is, it takes me 4-5 minutes to go from here to there. But when we took the cross-functional team and placed us together, suddenly we started to cooperate. So it's a really tiny advice, but it worked. So now we are sitting together in the same systems with the same data, and now we're actually working cross-functional. It worked. So that actually was the last slide, and I have plenty of time for questions. No, not questions yet. This is quite kind of weird. As you saw in the first slide, we're only that's quite big in Sweden anyhow. We're only 11,000 employees in SAS, but I'm Mattias Andersson too. But in the LinkedIn world, we are 11 billion people on LinkedIn. There, I'm Mattias Andersson 1. I can't believe it. I'm number 1 in the entire world, but in this small SAS, I'm number 2. I know why. And if you mail me, quite often people mail me and forget the 2, then you will come to Mattias Andersson, and he works as a cabin crew, and he doesn't understand your questions. Quite often I don't even understand the questions you send to me. I've been meeting so many excellent companies in those one-to-ones. So I'm wow, what you can do. I'm so impressed about what you can do. And those people, they put some really tricky questions to me that I couldn't answer. But if you want to get in contact with me, if you want a presentation, or if you want a longer, more relaxed presentation compared to now, when I stressed too much in the beginning, and then now I realize I have plenty of time, then you can contact me, and I might have the time to come to your company and talk a bit slower. Okay, yeah, that was my last slide, because now we're starting all over again. You can see all the buzzwords again, and those were thrown by. Yeah, you see, and my line, and my slide, and keeps going like that, and nice personalized Cookie Monster content, nice view, and now we're done. So now we're done, and time for questions. not tricky questions. Easy ones, please.
How much coffee did you drink today?
Yeah. And actually, is it okay to market my own companies, advertise my own companies? Yeah, I'm owning a company who sells superfruit. And we sell a product called, I can't really pronounce it, guarana. We sell, I sell that product, and I take that every day. And actually, last week, I didn't sleep, and I'm still this energetic. And by the way, we also sell what we call acai. Acai or acai or acai, it's often pronounced. Acai, that's lots of antioxidants, and that makes you feel, look young. And actually, I'm 44 years old, so I think I look quite young, and I got 4 kids, so I'm really productive as well. And back in Sweden, old people are having the cold at the moment. But since my company sells acerola, acerola is lots of C vitamins, 90 times orange. So I take that as well, so no cold. So that's what I'm not drinking coffee. I'm eating guarana from my company. More easy question. I love that question.
About the presentation.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure we'd like to know a lot more about Mattias. We'll save that for cocktail. Anything? Yes.
So you mentioned that you're using now the data-driven attribution.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, because we did a lot of work on attribution and it didn't change anything, whether we were looking at it last click, first click, data-driven. So I was wondering which channel benefited from this, like which channel was underestimated by the
I can't answer. I could answer your question, but that also, because I'm not working with that myself. It's other people in my team who's doing that. And I know he told me, he's a really clever guy, he told me we're looking into Google Attribution 360, the new stuff from Google Attribution, Google. So we're looking into to really get attribution in place. And then after that, we will implement what we call ROMI, return on marketing investments, because Google Attribution is only like the digital channels and TV as well. But you have offline marketing and stuff like that, and then we will do a ROMI project. And I can come back next year, talk about the ROMI project. Any more questions?
Another one here.
I apologize in advance, I'm probably a little bit slow. I'm sure everybody else in the room understood exactly what the presentation was about.
I didn't. So,
but for the uninitiated, if there was one key takeaway from your presentation in relation to data, not health food, what would it be?
yeah. Hey, only one. Oh, shit. Then it was tricky. Then I have to sit down and think, maybe. One. Yeah, I think it's a combination of now we're using the same tool, the digital world and the offline world, and we have all the data in the same database. So it's natural for us to ask each other, how do you do that? How will we improve that? As in the last slide, also we're sitting together. I think that's the key that made our cross-functional team work, and hence our multi-channel started to work. I think one long answer, but one answer, or many answers, yeah. Any more?
Take a crystal ball and look at the future. Take like maybe 12 months,
Yeah.
a year or 2 years, pick your time frame, and what do you see like coming through, what are the benefits of the data, how you see you're using data as well?
I'm really interested in to get this attribution in place because this attribution will tell us, for example, this kind of customers, they need 5 impressions in order to convert. They need 2, and they need email. They don't need email. When we have this in place, then we can be really sophisticated in how we will treat our customers. And then, of course, on the downside, I'm so terrible afraid of the GDPR as well. So it's a session tomorrow. I will listen like this with guarana in my body, of course, because at least in Sweden, all companies are so damn stressed about the GDPR. So I'm afraid of going to the office sometimes because they think I know everything about GDPR. Since I work with data, I have no clue about GDPR. But I think attribution to really get to know what channel really make the customers convert.
Okay, great. Thanks, Mattias.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.